Here I am again, and today I'm going to diversify somewhat and give you a book review. Yeah, exactly, a book review. Yeah, it's something I found that is a bit of escapism for me, as with the movies, the TV, hobbies, etc. I do like to have a read. Now, sometimes when I can't sleep, I get my head in a book and I lose myself in the storyline of the book, and that relaxes my brain. It takes my brain off the worrying of the day's issues, the day's problems, life's general problems, which is one of the reasons why I'm here in the first place. Anyway, the book that I finished recently was actually 3 books in one. It's by James Ellroy and it's called Noir, and it is the Lloyd Hopkins Trilogy. It contains 3 books all related to Detective Sergeant Lloyd Hopkins. It's Blood on the Moon, Because the Night and Suicide Hill. Now, what did I think of these books? Well, initially I found the first book, Blood on the Moon, quite hard to get into. I didn't find that Lloyd Hopkins was a particularly nice character. It wasn't one that you could relate to, that you could really sort of invest in. You couldn't really sort of feel his character. He's not a very nice guy. He does things his way. He's hyper intelligent. He rides roughshod over everybody to get the job done. And he's a very successful officer, very well respected by his peers, but you look at the authority figures don't really want him around because he's bad for their image and bad for their reputation. He treats women very poorly. He uses them as he sees fit. He's got addictions, and he's got an uncanny way of staying awake all night and every night. He doesn't seem to sleep ever, which is quite strange because his lack of sleep, you'd think he wouldn't be able to do his job at all. Anyway, that's the one issue I have, is the fact that he doesn't ever seem to sleep. And then goes on from that book where the story, you do get involved in the story, but you don't invest in the character so much. Maybe in his sort of his friend that works within the force that helps him out, Dutch. He's the more likeable of the guys from the law enforcement side. And then you get onto Because the Night, which is involves someone of the similar sort of intelligence who's challenging Detective Sergeant Lloyd Hopkins and his own intelligence and trying to outwit him. And it's a little bit almost Dr. Evilish, in so much as I'm more intelligent than you, I'm going to outdo you, and that's what causes his downfall, which is a bit daft, but it's very well written, and the detailing, and there's obviously been a lot of investigation going into it. And then you get to Suicide Hill, the final story of the trilogy. The initial part of the book is very little of Lloyd Hopkins. It's more focuses on the central criminal character, which is interesting, and because Lloyd Hopkins is a bit down and out after dealing with the previous 2 killers. He's very much stressed out, zoned out. He's suffering from the traumas and the fallout that came with the previous 2 books, and he's become a little more insecure, if you like. He's on his own now. His family have gone, and everything around him is lost, and this is his last call, if you like, his last opportunity to put things right. And that was the most enjoyable, but without the first 2 books I probably wouldn't have enjoyed the third as much. I'm not sure whether, I think the third would probably stand alone, but the first 2 you have to read through the beginnings of Lloyd Hopkins to get into the character. And then by the third book, I'm actually rooting for the guy. I'm actually kind of liking Lloyd Hopkins. Now he's vulnerable. Now he doesn't think the world revolves around him and his mad sex drive. So I found it difficult to get into to start with. I then I forced myself on with it, because once you've invested the first 50-60 pages of a book, I don't really want to put it down. I want to sort of get on and enjoy it and finish it and enjoy it if I can. But I did, by the end of it, really start to enjoy it. You can see bits that have maybe been stolen for films and whatever. I mean, this is set in the 1980s, so there's a lot of references of that I kind of get, but then it is also in America, so maybe I don't get it. But this guy, James Ellroy, it's the first of his books that I've read, and I will be looking out for him again. Although I never ever pay full price for a book. It's boot sales, charity shops, 50p for a book. Don't waste your money. I've got a big stack of books, and they're all quite varied, and I've got to work through quite a lot at the moment before I buy any more. And I will, if people enjoy this review, I'll give you some more. If you don't, I'll probably give it a few more anyway. So yeah, I would give this book 6 out of 10. The final book, Suicide Hill, I'd certainly give 8 out of 10 if you could pick that up on its own perhaps. But yeah, it is a good trilogy. It works very well as a trilogy because they all interconnect. Worth a look if you like crime.